Okay, what's up, everybody? Good morning. Welcome to a Thursday edition of Morning Scone presented by Brock, the Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic, Parish Construction and Roofing. Remember, if you need an orthopedist, you go to Brock Rock and Wine, coming up Saturday, July 27th, presented by Audi of Baton Rouge, inside of Tiger Stadium, and of course, Parish Construction and Roofing. You need a roof, we'd love to give you that free, no obligation roofing inspection. Also, if you missed it, we've got a new sponsor here on Morning Scone as well. Proud to tell you about our friends over at Unique Physique. If you're not familiar, Unique Physique offers semaglutide, tirzepatide. So if you've been hearing about the weight loss injections, learn more over at Unique Physique. And you can save $35 with a $30 consult, just a $30 consult for the entire month of July. And they've got a semaglutide BOGO by 1 month of semaglutide starting at $275 a month over at Unique Physique, and they will pay for your second month. How about that? Got to be a new start, a new patient to semaglutide to get this promo. But check it out over at Unique Physique. Okay, y'all. How about Jay Johnson doing work? Anthony Eyanson is the newest member of the LSU transfer portal class. If you didn't hear it before, or when we talked about it over the weekend when Eyanson visited LSU, I'll give you a little bit of a thumbnail on Eyanson. So this is a guy who is a legit possibility of being LSU's Friday night guy. And that's not hyperbole. This is a dude that is a legit dude, in the same way that, 2 years ago when LSU got Thatcher Hurd out of the transfer portal, we thought, oh, that's going to be your Friday night guy. Now, Skeens ended up becoming Skeens. This past year, when you got Gage Jump and Luke Holman, we're like, okay, those dudes are going to be in your rotation. Same here with Anthony Eyanson. He is 6'2", 190 pounds. Was invited to try out for the Team USA's collegiate national team. Fastball 95 to 97, slider 83. Talked to a scout last night after AFR about him. He said the slider's real. Curveball 77 to 79. He is a projected top 100 prospect for the 2025 draft. And oh, by the way, you come to LSU, part of a rotation in the SEC, pitch really well. Guess what? That goes up, 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 up. This past year at UCSD, that's University of California, San Diego, 3.07 ERA, 82 innings pitched, 85 strikeouts, so more than a strikeout per inning pitch, just 24 walks, so the command is good and getting better. And just look at who wanted him. After he visited LSU, he went to Wake Forest, then to Florida, then to Tennessee, and then Texas. So all the big programs wanted him. Everybody had him on campus for a visit. And ultimately, Jay Johnson and the Tigers landed him. So Anthony Eyanson commits to LSU. I mean, he's right there with Chase Shores, Cade Anderson as guys you believe are in your rotation next year. We'll see what happens with Griffin Herring in the draft. It was really interesting if you didn't hear AFR, and I included this, by the way, I included these cuts in, I don't remember which one. Maybe it was this one. In Locked on LSU, if you missed the Joe Doyle interview on AFR, we talked about Griffin Herring and Bear Jones. And his feeling was more so that Bear Jones was going to return and Griffin Herring was going to sign. And I'll be honest with y'all, I'm hearing more and more people sound kind of confident that Bear Jones is going to come back to school. Let me see if this is the one. Just 1 second.
I tend to think he's going to be going back to school. Generally, the right.
That's the Bear Jones one. Let me see if this is the Griffin Herring one. I should have relabeled him. I didn't. My bad. Anyway, point is, Joe Doyle You heard him say there that he tends to think Bear Jones. Well, I'll just play it for you.
I tend to think he's going to be going back to school. Generally, the right first baseman with power as the big carrying tool. It's not the sexiest profile in any given draft. I don't want to call him a one tool, like a one trick pony, but it is power over just about every other tool. Right now, I've got a sixth, seventh round grade on him. And if that's the case, we're talking about, $250,000, $300,000 signing bonus. I think there's enough NIL money out there in college baseball to where that's going to be a tough decision for him to make. So, and that's assuming that he goes in the 6th or 7th round. So I would call it a better chance than not that he stays in Baton Rouge.
Okay, so that was Joe Doyle saying he thinks Jared Jones stays in Baton Rouge. Hang on, I think this is the Griffin Herring one.
Watch the kid just rake as a high school junior.
That's not it. That was about Daniel Dickinson. I think this is the Griffin Herring one. Sorry that I'm 4 times a charm, maybe. And how about me, by the way, getting videos here on Morning Scone? Figured all this out. All right, I think this is it. I think this is it.
A month ago, I would have said, I think there's a pretty good chance he goes back to LSU. He's going to be a weekend guy. They're looking for arms. I look at it now, the pitching staff continues to grow as we speak today. You have Jacob Myers, you have Devin Sheeran, you have some of these guys that are coming back that are going to be pitching big innings. Zach Cowan is a really, really good get for large inning loads. I don't know if Griffin Herring is like a shoe-in Saturday or Sunday starter anymore, and for that reason, he might be encouraged to go pro. I do think Griffin Herring is going to get offered something to the tune of $500,000 or $600,000 to go in the 4th or 5th round. So I would imagine that he goes pro.
So that was Joe Doyle saying he thinks Griffin Herring goes pro and Bear Jones returns. So we'll see. I mean, the MLB draft, y'all, is unlike any other. The unpredictability, the leverage, the possibility and opportunity for guys to return to school if they don't like where they're picked or what they offered. It's just unlike anything else. So draft starts on Sunday. We'll have a much better idea of the roster. But what a major get for LSU with Anthony Eyanson. And I will tell you, so Jay Johnson sent out his little tiger emoji tweet like literally minutes before we went on air. And so I was frantically texting, trying to find out who it was. And I did have 3 different people confirm to me that it was Eyanson. And apparently, and I didn't want to break it. Apparently the Anthony Eyanson, the young guy, kind of wanted to have his moment, wanted to put it out there on social and all. So I respect that and respected that. And clearly, Kendall Rogers tweeted like, "Oh, LSU fans are going to get some good news at 10 o'clock." Like clearly, Kendall knew. I mean, there's people who knew clearly, but all good, man. So, but it's a great get, man. It's a great get. That's 95, 97 from the right side, a legit starter and a guy that's coming in competing to be your Friday night guy. Awesome. Okay, let's say some good mornings here. You know the drill. Please smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, Facebook, like the Matt Moscona page, share the post. We appreciate you for being there. Jason, what's good, man? Matthew Vincent, RIP Gymnasium. Okay, did Gymnasium die? I thought maybe I'm thinking of somebody else, but I don't remember Gymnasium. I know he's a radio guy, but I can't say that I remember. But yeah, for sure. RIP. Strong side. Morning, Uncle Scone. Get out there, make it a good one. Yes, sir. B-Rock. Okay. Weston Weaver. Irfan Sayad. Gamorgan. Gary Petrie. Good morning, Uncle Scone. Your thoughts on the Frisco series with LSU, Nichols, K-State, Sam Houston State? Yeah, so LSU announced yesterday they're going to be playing in the Frisco series up in Frisco, Texas, at the beginning of next baseball season. I like it. I'll always be okay with LSU leaving the friendly confines of Alex Box Stadium. I understand why you play all those pre-conference series at home. As an LSU administrator once said to me, that $30 million stadium doesn't get paid for with the lights off. Meaning you got to have as many games at home as possible. You get the gate, the concessions, all the stuff. However, competitively, I would always rather you leave. Go get on a bus or a plane, go somewhere else, sit in a different dugout, take at-bats in a park with different sight lines, a different batter's eye, where you don't have 10,000 fans cheering for you. Go experience something different, because that's what you're going to experience for 15 games in the SEC, and then in Omaha, or if you get there, whatever. So yes, I'm always good with LSU going away to play those games in those series. Zachary Snyder, morning, Matt. The Murray Peterson discussion on AFR Tuesday had me laughing in traffic. Love it. Thank you so much. Cajun Country, what's going on, man? Thanks again for hanging out for the show. Had a great time. Jay Johnson must never sleep. That's true. Sean, great to see you, man. So had a great time yesterday in downtown Lafayette for the show for AFR, and appreciate everybody that came out. Got to meet some people. Got to meet Thomas Lamont yesterday. Wish Musso would have been in the house for the Pete Sampras thing. So got to meet Thomas Lamont yesterday. Sean, a.k.a. Cajun Country, was there as well. Got to meet Brett Guidry. Guy Brooks. I got to meet Guy yesterday as well. What an amazing story. He's got 23 years in the Army, the last 10 years working for the VA. He's about to retire, lives up in North Carolina, is moving back home. He's from Alex and moving back home to Louisiana in his retirement. So one of the reasons I love going to do shows on remote and getting to meet so many people whose names I say every day, and we talk every day here. Get to meet a lot of you guys, which was awesome. So, and back to Cajun Country's point here, Jay Johnson must never sleep. It's a lot like that, man. He is relentless, man. He is a relentless recruiter. William Schmidt was on AFR a few weeks back, and I said, what makes Jay Johnson such a great recruiter? And he kind of laughed and was like, he is a hard guy to say no to, man. And it's just when you're that convincing and that passionate, yeah, man, you make people want to follow you. Let's see. Thomas Sapiens, morning, Matt. I saw Bear went to A&M. Hunt for a catcher continues. So Bear is Bear Harrison from St. Mary's. I really think that LSU was in early on Bear Harrison, and I think their continued pursuit of other catchers, notably kid from A&M, who coincidentally ended up going back to A&M. Oh no, why am I blanking? Why am I blanking? I'm blanking, y'all. Hang on. I'm blanking. Anyway, catcher from A&M, who was the starter as a freshman, Max Coffer. Thank you. Oh gosh. Max Coffer hit the portal at about the time LSU was targeting Bear Harrison. I don't know if Max Coffer announced, is he going? Oh, Max Coffer committed to South Carolina. That's what happened. Okay. So I got a lot of names jumbled in my brain. So Max Coffer started at A&M as a freshman, lost his job this year. When Schlossnagle left, he hit the portal. At that time, LSU was recruiting Bear Harrison. Well, Coffer ended up picking South Carolina. Well, A&M still had a vacancy at catcher with Coffer leaving for South Carolina. LSU has Blaze Priester coming in, Kate Aaron Beatty. So I could understand why, if you're Bear Harrison, you're looking at A&M going, there's a clear path to the field. That makes sense. It might have been a thing where it was a bird in the hand type deal for LSU, and they missed. So I still think they need a depth at catcher. They need one more. See if they can get it. Cody Kebido, morning, Matt. Jay currently has a number 2 recruiting class, number 1 portal class, pre-draft, of course. Oh, ye of little faith. Cade Mayu, morning, Matt. Can you give more info on the transfer pitcher? I know he's highly recruited. What can we expect velocity-wise and pitch repertoire? So, yeah, man. right there at the beginning of the show. If you missed it, 95, 97 on the fastball, 83 miles an hour on the slider, 77 to 79 on the curveball. And the slider is a real pitch. So guy was, 82 innings pitched with 85 strikeouts this year, 6-2 record, 3.07 ERA. He's a guy that was invited to pitch for Team USA Collegiate National Team, 6'2", 190, and had interest from Wake Forest, Florida, Tennessee, Texas. I mean, he visited all those schools. So, and you won out. I mean, this is a guy who's a legit guy. This is a legit guy who is going to compete for your Friday night role this year and should definitely be in the weekend rotation. Clint Otto, what's up, Clint? Good morning, man. Am I the only one getting worried about whether we got enough innings to give all these transfer cats? You know what, Clint? Here's the one thing I would say, and I know you're tongue in cheek, obviously, but well, first of all, you're losing 15 pitchers off this team and potentially 16 if you lose Griffin Herring as well. So that's the first things first is you lost a ton of arms. So now you've added 7 arms via the portal. And candidly, you probably had too many arms on the team a year ago. You probably had too many. I mean, like 9 lefties is just, that's a glut, you know? But I think there's definitely enough innings. I think the bigger question is, so for a lot of the guys you've signed now, right? Eyanson, Myers, Zach Cohen, Luke Hayden, Devin Sheeran, those 5 were all weekend guys this year at their current spot. Like, I mean, Zach Cohen was the Friday guy at Wofford. Luke Hayden was the number 2 at Indiana State. You know, Devin Sheeran figures to be in the mix to be the ace. Sheeran and Eyanson are the 2 guys that you look at and you go, okay, highest ceiling along with Shores. Anyway, so all those guys have been weekend guys. There's just not enough spots because you've also got Shores and Anderson and possibly Herring. But Shores, Anderson, Eyanson, Myers, Cohen, Luke Hayden, Devin Sheeran, that's 7 guys right there. That's not even including if you get a guy like William Schmidt on campus, which would be 8 dudes vying for 3 starting jobs. So that's really the thing. It's not are there enough innings? It's are there enough starting opportunities for those guys? That would be the thing. But that's a good problem to have, man. All right, please smash the like button if you would. Subscribe to the channel. Facebook, like the page, share the post. Jesse Brown, good morning. Yo, Brett Gidry, good morning. See, Brett? You see? So I met Brett yesterday, and he introduced himself, and I didn't recognize him because he didn't just have the mustache, the thick mustache. He had full beard, and he was wearing a hat. So I didn't recognize him initially, but it was great to meet you, Brett. Really sincerely appreciate you coming by. Hopefully we get to do maybe a little business too. Brett's got a martial arts studio, Southpaw, there in Lafayette that we might be able to do a little promotion for, which would be great. But great to meet you, Brett. I got Brett. Let's see. Kirk Taylor came yesterday as well, though I've met Kirk plenty of times. Hey, there's Guy Brooks right there. Great meeting you last evening. Have a great day. Thank you so much, Guy. I appreciate you, man. It was great. I don't know if you met, but I mentioned you just a bit ago on the show if you missed it. There's Kirk Taylor. What's going on? Got to see Kirk yesterday. I also was able to sling a few Parish hats yesterday. So all the morning Sconers that came, they got their Parish hat. I had to make a special trip over to Red Stick Sports because we had no Parish hats in the office, but a new order had just been finished over at Red Stick Sports. So I popped in and got the box of Parish hats, drove over to Lafayette. And so I was able to sling a few of them yesterday, which was great. Abner Neal, good morning. Jay is steaming hot in the portal. Yes, he is. Ethan Mortimer just keeps killing. Jay keeps killing the transfer portal. The pitching staff looks like it could be one of the best if everything works out. Who is Jay going for next? Yeah, again, there's the 2 things where I could say they could still use help would be a left-handed pitcher. And by the way, Cade Fisher from Florida was one of the names that I thought it could have been yesterday. Apparently, Cade Fisher is going to Mississippi State. That's my understanding. So that's a bummer, but could still add Matthew Dallas from Tennessee. See? And you need a catcher. You need depth at catcher. And you need another left-handed pitcher. Kelly Gross, good morning. Club Ruckus, morning, Matt. Good morning, everybody. Let's go, Jay Johnson. You've been telling everybody all we have to do is listen. I have been telling everybody. Not everybody wants to hear it all the time because people, similar to when baseball season is happening, you lose a game. It's, okay, it's 56 games, long season. Even when they were 3-12, I was like, hey, let them play it out. Let's see. Here's the path. It's there. And lo and behold, they made it work. Kirk, great seeing you yesterday. Just for y'all know the amount of focus this dude has to put on a show 3 hours, something else, the intensity. LOL. Kirk, when I'm locked in, man, and especially on remote too, it's you have to be. Because there's so much going on, you got to be able to focus. So, but yeah, man, it was great seeing you yesterday. The other thing too that I feel like I should say this for people ever come watch a remote, when you have headphones on, they're noise canceling. So it's like it really is you don't hear anything. Even in that busy place with the 50 people, however many were in there, and all, like you don't, when the headphones are on, you don't hear anything. So like my headphones are on and I'm looking down and you come up to talk like to the stage and you're talking like I can't hear you. So not you, Kirk, just you plural. So I would say be mindful of that always. Like if someone has headphones on and you try to come talk to them, they can't hear you unless if like they have the headphone off. So anyway, but yes, you got to be locked in. Richie, Matt, TKN is sponsored by Evermore. I am aware. I've been mentioning that on the Evermore live reads all week. Musso still can't mention Tiger is in the pros. What a bummer. I'll tell you what, Richie. But what did you expect? Musso didn't even know who Pete Sampras was. That was embarrassing. I felt embarrassed for him. And he was like, "Oh, I was born in '93. How do you think I would know Pete Sampras who played in the '90s?" I'm like, "Well, Michael Jordan, he played in the '90s. Like, he knew John McEnroe played in the '70s, was dominant in the '70s. I mean, Bjorn Borg, Ivan Lendl, all Jimmy Connors, all those guys were before my time. I know who they are. Weird. Bubba Smith, Hunter Broadhead, Ethan. I think if Jones came back over Herring, it's a bigger get. You have plenty of pitchers coming in. Oh, there's no doubt. Now, don't get me wrong. Griffin Herring is the dominant left-handed arm, was your best arm this year out of the bullpen. So I don't want to minimize that at all. But if you get Jared Jones and his 28 homers back and you put that bat in the middle of your lineup, but the fact that LSU added Luis Hernandez and Eddie Yaman and Dalton Beck, like they went out and targeted, they got 3 first base / DH guys, right? That tells you they were not thinking Bear Jones was coming back. Which the old adage, actions speak louder than words, right? When you go sign a whole bunch of first base DH, like you get a pretty good feeling that dude ain't coming back. Like you sign 1, it's different. Well, you're losing Travinsky. You could probably use one of those guys. You go sign 3 of them. Anyway, let's see. Darren Reeves, morning at 10 o'clock announcement, kind of told me it was a West Coast player. Yeah. Rocky, morning, Matt. Are we in Omaha next year with this roster? Go Tigers. Rocky, I want to remind you that LSU this year was 3 outs away, essentially, from Omaha. They were 3 outs away from hosting a super regional against West Virginia. So the expectation every year is that LSU has a roster that can get to Omaha. And I think, yeah, it's certainly possible. Let's see what happens in the draft. Brent, good morning. It's LSU Day on the mound in the majors with Nola and Skeens. Very good. Stephen Miller, who watches from time to time, pops on here, pointed out last week that there was a trifecta. It was Nola, Skeens, and Gaussman all pitching on the same day, which is pretty rare to have that happen. So, but cool when it does. Thanks for the heads up, man. Chandler, good morning. I'm late. One of my favorite sports calls is, and we will see you tomorrow night. Yeah, the Joe Buck. Yes, we were talking about the other day about Joe Tessitore getting a job with WWE, and I think that's perfect for him. Joe Tess is a great boxing announcer. The point was, like, I don't love him on football because other sports, like some of the greatest calls ever, the beauty is in their subtlety on TV. I don't believe what I just saw. Joe Buck saying, we'll see you tomorrow night. It's like, freeze. Drive to center. We'll see you tomorrow night. That was it. And Joe Test just tends to be much more animated and emotional. I think he's going to be perfect for WWE. Anyway, that's what Chandler's talking about there. Kirk, Musso needs to be shamed for not knowing who Pete Sampras is. Like, I mean, to work in a sports station and to not know Pete Sampras, yeah. So we're doing Pluckers trivia, and the answer to one of the questions was like, who won 6 Wimbledon titles in the 90s? And the answer was Pete Sampras, and he didn't know it, and he's like, who? I was like, wait a minute, you don't know who Pete Sampras is? Anyway. Tarn 35, morning, Matt. Where are the radio guys going to be doing shows in Vegas for the USC game? We will be at the MGM Sportsbook inside of Mandalay Bay. Trey Patan, good morning. Ken Martin, you did mention him once. You said it was possibly the lefties from Tennessee or Florida. Now all of a sudden you say you knew it was a right-hander for San Diego. Now you're saying, no, I said I found out during the show. Whenever Jay Johnson tweeted his tiger emoji, I did not know. And so then I started vetting to see who it was, and I didn't know. And so I told you very clearly, I didn't know. And I thought it could have been Matthew Dallas, could have been Kate Fisher from Florida. It was around the end of hour 2 that I found out that it was Eyanson, and Kate had one of those moments, so I didn't break it. And neither did anybody else, which is fine. By the way, I recorded Locked On LSU last night before 10 p.m. Central, which is live right now with the Anthony Eyanson news. So, yeah. Let's see. Ryan saw some people saying was the big news yesterday when every SEC team wanted, including Texas, who was pursuing him hard. It's obvious. It's absolute. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely big news for sure. Stephen Robeek, what up, my dude? Hope you're doing well, man. Give me an update too on how things are. I need to call you, see how things are going. Mr. Wallace, Matt, any idea of where Josh Pearson is projected to go in the draft? I'd really like to have him back. He's not Josh Pearson isn't a draftable player this year. So yeah, I fully anticipate Josh Pearson would be back. Kirk, super zoomed in on Facebook. I can't see the comments. All good. Mike Hardyall, morning Scone. Thoughts on the regression of DJ LeMahieu? What's going on with the Yankees? I'm really sad about what's going on with the Yankees. I mean, they were the best team in baseball, and then in the last 5 weeks, they've been the worst team in baseball. As far as DJ, he's just getting older and limited. Rick, Matt, yesterday you were asked about Archie making the NFL Hall of Fame. It is true he was never on a winning team, but comparing him to Burrow is a little unfair because the free agency was not around back then. I could make the argument better for Archie making College Hall of Fame. Is there an SEC Hall of Fame? Archie is in the College Football Hall of Fame, and I do not believe there is an SEC Hall of Fame. They do have their every year in the SEC championship game in football, they do announce their their SEC legends. That's what they do, the SEC legends. And so obviously he's been that, but sure. I mean, listen, it's not a knock on Archie. He's beloved here, but when you talk about Hall of Fame, it's my opinion, I believe in the Hall of Fame, like, it should be binary, yes or no. Like, there shouldn't be gray area with the Hall of Fame. You're talking about the Hall of Fame. This is any Hall of Fame. Either you're in or you're not. That's why I think Like, you should be a first ballot Hall of Famer. You are either in or you are not a Hall of Famer. Like Drew Brees, Hall of Famer. If you have to ask the question, have the debate, should he be, then the answer is no. That's just my opinion. I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying that's my opinion on the matter. Anyway, Zach Swan, what's going on? Hey, Dad, good morning. Noah Lejeune, morning, Matt. Great debate on Locked On College Football yesterday. Drew totally stole the show. He had me in stitches. So I was a guest on Locked On College Football. And when we recorded that, I even said, I was like, hey, look, before we start, I was like, listen, I got a little boy. He's a little special needs kiddo. I'm in my office. I'm leaving the door open. He's probably going to walk in here. I used to close the door, but it's just easier because he would bang on the door and knock it open and all that stuff. It's just easier to leave it open, let him come in. And anyway, so like there was one point where Drew walked in and it was like touching me on the face and poking my head, like standing. Anyway, if you're interested, I know I tweeted the link, but it's, if you go look up Locked On College Football, is yesterday's episode that published. Roddy Duga, what's going on? Green Z, Matt, do you think every pitcher we get, is it less likely Herring comes back? Kind of, except Herring is a lefty. But, the thing with Herring coming back is if Herring were to come back, he'd be coming back with an eye on being a starter. And with all the starters you keep adding, Shore's coming back, Anderson coming back, Eyanson, Myers, Cohen, Hayden, Sheeran, all those guys. Those are all guys that are starters. So it's like, yeah, I mean, I do agree. Let's see. Ryan said Matthew Dallas went to Wake. Forgive me, I missed that. Let's see. When did that happen? Oh, that was yesterday evening. Okay. That was 14 hours ago. Okay. So that was last night. Thank you for the heads up because I missed that last night. Let's see. Larry Garner, what's going on? Brett, it was funny to see y'all transition between shows. It was like a hockey line change. I always say it's like a NASCAR pit crew change when we transition. And you should see it in studio, Brett. I should probably put that on like our Instagram story or something like that. Because like in studio, Hunt's show ends at 3 when I start. And it's, he finishes at 2:55:50, and we start at 3:01:30. So you're talking, I mean, it's 5.5 minutes from the time Mike goes off for Hunt show to Mike turns on for my show. And it's, you got to get all your people out. We got to get our people in. Paul's got to get the YouTube stream going. Got to change the panels, the lighting. I got to get my computer set up, the desk set up, all that stuff. I mean, it's like a NASCAR pit crew change between shows. All right, please smash the like button if you would subscribe. Remember, Brock Rock and Wine, presented by Audi of Baton Rouge, coming up on Saturday, July 27th. Hope to see a lot of y'all there. Hope to see all of you there, as a matter of fact. Parish Construction and Roofing. Visit parishbuilt.com. Apparently, I was in Lafayette yesterday for the show, but apparently there was hail and some real bad weather in Gonzales. So if you were experiencing that bad weather, high wind, heavy rain, hail, you could have had roof damage, let us come give you that free, no obligation roofing inspection. Parish Construction and Roofing, parishbuilt.com, parishbuilt.com. And welcome aboard, Unique Physique. Everybody's heard about semaglutide, tirzepatide, but once a week, weight loss injections. If you're interested, Unique Physique, local people. You can even do your initial consultation on the phone. So if you don't actually want to physically go in, you can have that medical consult on the phone. So Unique Physique, check them out in Baton Rouge. The telemedicine visits with a licensed clinician is available. No contracts ever. Another really cool thing there. It decreases your cravings, reduces your appetite. I mean, it's that simple. You just get results. So if you're interested in learning more, Unique Physique, appreciate them for being aboard here on Morning Scone. Let's see. Where am I? I lost my spot. There we go. Noah, thank you. People who call this the dead season don't watch tennis. Wimbledon semis today and tomorrow. Joker going to win his 25th major on Sunday. So, candidly, Noah, when I was younger, I watched a lot of tennis. My brother played tennis, took lessons and all that stuff, and he'd just kind of run me around the court. But I'm with you. Like as sports nuts, we watched tennis. We played tennis. As I've gotten older, I haven't watched as much. And quite honestly, I think a big part of it is just the lack of star power in the men's game. When I was a kid, you had Agassi and Jim Courier and Pete Sampras and Michael Chang. Jimmy Connors was late in his career, but still competing. And there was a lot of star power on the men's side. And that just hasn't really been the case, at least not American men. So the women's game really skyrocketed in popularity because you had such star power with Venus and Serena and Maria Sharapova. We go on down the list, you'll know. But anyway, I'm not as big into tennis now as I was when I was younger. But I think a big part of that is just the lack of American star power in tennis. Brian Arsenault talking about first base. Trey Morgan is tearing it up. Trey Morgan, I believe, is DHing. He's playing. He's playing first base. I think he's DHing, playing the outfield. I need to check. Yeah, but you're right. I mean, I'm checking right now. He's hitting. Trey Morgan this year is hitting. He's hitting 393 in high A. 31 games. He's hitting 393. It's ridiculous. Solar Flares, what's going on? Brian Penn, good morning from Baltimore. Okay, man. Brent Gosman is on the mound today. Very cool. Very, very cool. So they're all pitching today. That's awesome. Peter, morning. Rare weekday live show. Good to see you, Peter. Hope all is well. Peter, man, check out Channel 9. Check out this chick. Office Space movie. I believe no tennis for me. I'm watching motocross at the moment to pass the weekends. Okay. Gunner, morning, Matt. Jay is the Portal King. Very excited to see who comes back after the draft. Jonathan, what's up, Scone? On paper, is this the best pitching staff Jay has had during his time at LSU? Who? I don't know, man. I think this year we probably would have said the same thing with adding Holman and Jump. And you had Hurd there as well. Remember, coming into this season, you had Hurd coming off with a great performance in Omaha. So Hurd, Holman, Jump. You added Cam Johnson, who was the highest rated signee ever to show up on campus. You had guys like Aiden Moffitt, 98 from the right side. Kate Anderson, who was number one or number two player in Louisiana with he and Brown. So I don't know, man. It really feels like this year you could have made that case as well for Jay. But the point is he knows it. He knows where he needs to add, and he does it effectively. So Leon, more Matt. Looking forward to media days. Bring a few hats with you. I will do it. Al, 2 outs, I think, from facing West Virginia. Yeah. That's where they were, man. Dick Tilley, good morning. Have a great Parish Day. Thank you, sir. Brian Arsenault, Matt, is Jacob Pearson still headed to LSU? Haven't heard his name lately. Yes, he is. That's Josh Pearson's younger brother. Can't say little brother because he's bigger than Josh, but he's the younger Pearson brother. But yes, Jacob Pearson, is headed to LSU next year. Let's see. Kurt sent the link to the text line. Matt, if you haven't seen it. Okay, I'll check. Got you. Noah, Nadal, Federer, Djokovic are the three best to ever play, and they all play at the same time. If you truly love the sport, the last 20 years have been the golden age. Again, Noah, there you go. Okay, the lack of Americans is the point. Yes, I mean, Nadal on clay, Federer, the greatest champion ever, right? Djokovic now kind of taking that mantle. Yeah, I'm with you. I don't know that is it really the golden age? I can't really compare to what it would have been like with, Ivan Lendl and McEnroe, like in the 70s. Yeah, whatever. But I don't. That's the point. No, I don't truly love the sport. I don't love tennis. As a young person, I watched it a lot. We played it a lot, and there were a lot of Americans on the male side. There just aren't anymore. Was Andy Roddick the last great American tennis player? Anchovies on a hot dog, bro. The thing was so good. I'm not even lying to you. I have nothing for those people. I mean, like, so if you weren't watching AFR yesterday, we were doing the show in Lafayette, and there was a soda fountain. Is that what they call a soda fountain? Down the street called Sundays. So if you're in Lafayette, go check it out. So they do burgers and gourmet hot dogs and shakes and all kind of stuff like that. And it's like the hot dogs were gourmet hot dogs. So the owners popped in, and the chef who put the menu together, a guy named Todd, he brought me 3 gourmet hot dogs, and one of the shake was like a chocolate shake that had a cookie on top and whipped cream. It was crazy. And my point is, like, I don't know those people. I don't owe those people anything. I don't, if it was no good, I'd say, like, they don't advertise with me. I don't know. I'm just completely, and I don't love a hot dog either. But I'm gonna tell you what, man. The 3 hot dogs they gave, one of them hot dogs, whichever the one was in the middle that had like the it's whatever you say, like you put on top of etouffee or something. Ooh. Y'all, I'm gonna have a dream about that hot dog. Like, if you live in Lafayette, you got to go check out that place. It was, I mean, it was fantastic. Then one of them, he said, I can't lie, there's a little bit of anchovies. I'm like, I don't care. I think the Ninja Turtles just gave anchovies a bad name. No anchovies on the pizza. I'm like, I don't know what an anchovy is. I don't even care. Oh, that's cool. My dad told me he was smiling all night. Thanks again. Plus, Ruckus was right down the street from the show yesterday. I'm aware that Ruckus was down the street. Actually popped in last time we did this show on Jefferson. So great spot. But yeah, we after the show we FaceTimed with Sean's dad, Pat, and he was down in River Ridge, so we FaceTimed with him and had a good chat, good convo. Yeah, Roddick, the most recent American man to win a major, 03, so 21 years, man. So 21 years since an American male has won a major in tennis. So that's kind of the problem. Lou, starting to get the feeling Herring likely to go to the draft. Yeah, man. I mean, if he tops out at 500-600K and is worried about his opportunity to start coming back next year, it would make sense. So we'll see. All right, y'all. I think we're just about done. Thanks so much for being there with us. YouTube, please smash that like button, subscribe to the channel. Facebook, go ahead and follow the profile. Again, I think I've explained it before, but I'll just keep explaining because I know it's new. Facebook changed their algorithm, so we moved from my professional page to my profile. So I'll keep sharing the stream to my page, but we're originating from the profile because of Facebook algorithm stuff. So please follow the profile and set notifications and all that stuff. So that's where we'll be live. Appreciate it. Okay, thanks for watching. Locked on LSU is already live. However you get your podcast, or on YouTube and AFR3. Y'all have an awesome day. We'll see you. Peace.